Elusive plastic surgeon Dr. Kim has divided the internet after sharing the drastic results of his patients' facelifts. Bizarrely, from the captions in his videos, it seems a lot of his patients found him on TikTok. Some travelled thousands of miles across the world specifically for this surgery, from countries such as Spain. That has got to be a horrific flight home.
Welcome back. Today we're going to discuss the very current and cringy trend that's going on out there on TikTok these days, which is plastic surgery by Dr. Kim. The man himself isn't the trend, but the plastic surgery that he's been delivering, where it's basically been cutting people's faces open like Face Off with John Travolta and Nick Cage, that is the current trend, where he's been making people who look 65 years old look 25 years old. And quite frankly, I have a lot of questions. And anytime people decide they're going to get a plastic surgery that's very affordable to the common man, I have a lot of questions and I have a lot of doubts. Why would you get a surgery that's, well, affordable to everyone? That means this person is desperate for the dollar and they're literally just booking people by the hour. Plastic surgery that you can get that'll really change and reshape the form of your face and body in a very short amount of time, that's not something that you should really be diving into recklessly. And there's a lot of people who've been doing this and I do not know why. Now, this is coming from a person who's looking about as dusty as they get in today's video, but I'm afraid to get plastic surgery because, quite frankly, I don't want to look like Tim Scott, a man whose face has looked like it's been doing a whole lot of sucking in its day, and I don't want to be doing anything of the sorts. So also, I've had another video in the past dealing with the human Ken doll situation, a man who looks like he's literally an action figure, a man who's literally been cutting himself up and pumping it full of inflatables, something that's literally right out of a Nicktoons cartoon. And I just don't want to be a part of any type of current trend that makes me look as stupid as that man, but I'm going to try to release that video again. Hopefully YouTube doesn't delete it for a fifth time. It's still ineligible on my page for monetization and it's been blocked everywhere. If Entertainment has anything to do with it, they will make sure I am burned at the stake to make sure I never release this video, as they are literally copyright striking me over a 7-second clip. And I'm like, man, please just let it go. Let me just get it out there, because I'm trying to teach people something. Teach them not to do this to themselves. Teach them to self-love and enjoy who they are. You know, please enjoy and embrace the body that you're in. Now, this is a place that, yes, I do want to promote, you know, some form of fitness. Don't destroy yourself completely. I'm not going to say necessarily fitness, because I don't even really work out. I just, you know, I don't know. Well, nonetheless, I'm going to re-release that video at some point in time, and I'm going to pray to God that it doesn't get blocked. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel today, as we are going to dive into this topic, and we're going to get right into it very soon.
Creep on in, on in, on in.
Elusive plastic surgeon Dr. Kim has divided the internet after sharing the drastic results of his patients' facelifts. Bizarrely, from the captions in his videos, it seems a lot of his patients found him on TikTok.
Not a good sign.
Some travelled thousands of miles across the world specifically for this surgery, from countries such as Spain. That has got to be a horrific flight home.
Absolutely.
A facelift requires a deep incision in the skin from the earlobe to the temple. The skin is separated from the facial structure. The muscles are pulled up and back, and the skin is then reattached to the bone.
Yep, just like Face Off, except for the change of personality.
The only way you can contact Dr. Kim is via WhatsApp. I got in touch to see if I could ask him some questions about his procedure and received this response.
That's shady.
Comments are saying this is clearly AI, but I feel like I can literally see the stitches bulging out of this patient's forehead.
I can too.
Maybe the people in the before and after pictures are literally different people. Maybe they're all based in China. What do you think?
I think it's wonderful to be black, because literally all I had to do was wash my booty, change my clothes, and get a haircut, and I look like a completely different person. I didn't even need that plastic surgery I was talking about. See, all I had to do was just change a few basic things and I just look brand new. Look nice and special now today for this video, as we're going to dive into it a little bit more. As you know, plastic surgery is one of those things. I get it. Some things, you know, hey, it works out well. Boob job, you know, sometimes, you know, the occasional BBL, though, that is just utterly crazy because it's not made with the proper things. It's sort of like getting an ACL surgery, but with all the wrong parts. I mean, getting a BBL is utterly dangerous. It can literally kill you. Why would you want to get a new butt that would kill you? I don't understand why you would get a butt that literally put you on the ground. That doesn't make any sense to me. I never heard of anybody dying from a tit job, but I definitely have heard somebody dying from a BBL. Now, if you got one of these face, you know, transplants, or, well, no, that's a completely different surgery altogether. But if you got one of these facelifts that is, you know, It's rough. I mean, to look at the stitches just all the way across your head. I mean, it is literally like Face Off. And can you imagine, like you said, getting back on that plane? Getting on that plane would just be an absolute nightmare. You would not want to look at anybody. You would want to cover your face like one of those face transplants after somebody like a monkey ripped your face off or something like that, or you shot your face off with a shotgun. It's one of those, it's that bad. You know, you kind of look at least still human, but ooh, I don't know, real rubbery. Now, I do have questions as the fact that I do think there's some filters going on somewhere in these photos or in these videos. There's something going on. It does look like completely different people, but it's also somewhat believable if you just think about it like, you know what? If you peel back the face after you shave off some of the fat and stuff underneath, it probably could look like that. But also, what are going to be like the long-term ramifications for this kind of stuff? And also, if I was to look like some of these monsters do after these surgeries, I would just be, quite frankly, really pissed off. I'd be angry. I'd be pounding the table. I'd be looking at people as crazy as Kanye is looking at people here. I would be shocked. I don't know. The average pedestrian, when they see someone who's gone through something like this, they wonder, like, what were you like before? It leaves a lot of questions and a lot to be desired. Now, I know I'm not the only person who was doing research on this topic, and I had a lot of questions as to who is Dr. Kim? Because looking for Dr. Kim and searching for him on the internet was quite tough. It was like looking for a Mr. Smith or Mr. Johnson or Mr. Davis or something like that. A million of them, and you don't know what color those people are going to be. Now, unfortunately, stereotypes would lend you to believe that, you know, Dr. Kim was going to clearly be Asian. But just saying, he was still difficult to find. Now, I thought this one person from this clip here was the original Dr. Kim.
Welcome back to Atlanta & Company. I'm Ryan Cameron. Now, Kim Facial Plastic Surgery offers a comprehensive array of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures to naturally enhance your appearance for Better You here on Better You Week. And joining us today with more on the services they provide is owner and founder, Dr. Kun Kim. Thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Plastic surgery is a very competitive field. I mean, you look at any magazine or any newspaper, there's a whole list of different plastic surgeons. What's different about your service?
Well, I feel the plastic surgery is probably no different than a fine restaurant.
Now, it turned out to be wrong, and I did a little bit more research, typed in TikTok and some other little things into Google, and I eventually found this guy right here. And he also had a little video as well.
What is lateral canthoplasty?
Lateral canthoplasty is a surgery that lengthens and widens the look of the eyes. It can fix the issues such as the eyes slanting upwards or downwards and being too closed. Ultimately, it achieves wider and bigger looking eyes.
So yes, quite the different people. One Dr. Kim could clearly speak English, and the other one was definitely stuck overseas speaking only his language, which is why they probably only communicated via WhatsApp and probably had somebody else doing the translating for him, because I don't think it was going to be him. And people are talking about like this man should be arrested. I mean, yeah, you could say that, and if you look around at some of these photos and the before and afters, it would make you wonder and make you want to point a gun at somebody. You know, it would make you want to hold somebody up like, you know, a bank robbery or something like that. It's rough. I would be very disoriented after seeing such a thing, but I can't necessarily blame Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim is looking for the money. He's trying to get paid and live a, you know, nice and mighty lifestyle out there, just like any other plastic surgeon. So like me, if I really wanted to go, you know, get a cosmetic degree, it really wouldn't take that long. Next thing you know, I could be doing a tit job tomorrow, or I could be doing some type of facelift or some type of BBL. Now, I couldn't do anything orthopedic, like, you know, some type of ACL surgery, but I could change how you look. I could promise that I can get those wrinkles out of your face by the afternoon, and we'll see if we can get you something better than acupuncture, something way better. I could lie to you all over the place and do all sorts of different nefarious things, but it's for the dollar. Now, I can't blame him, like I said, because, well, these people signed up for it. It is kind of their fault. They do know you know, they might not know, but you know, you should have some type of general idea that doing something that this extensive to your face is going to leave some type of scarring, or it's going to be pretty extreme. This isn't going to go over probably as smoothly as you would like. Now, ideally, these people are going to have results that look more like Erin Moriarty, who's, you know, the naturally was the natural beautiful girl from The Boys, and a few other shows that I never really watched. But she used to be very, very, very pretty. A guy that everybody would want to hook up with. The nice girl next door. That kind of look like, man, she is really beautiful. And now she just looks like an Instagram thought that just came up out of a time machine somewhere. Or just, well, today's modern times where everybody, I don't know why so many white women decided they want to look the way they do, like artificial, plastic machines where they look like Barbie dolls that don't look good in real life. Like, looking like a real life Barbie is not a good look. Y'all gotta stop doing this. Some of y'all are pretty and fine just the way you are. Stop it.
Get some help.
You might not age like black people, but you do look better than you're going to turn out after these surgeries, with the big cheeks and the big lips and the weird shaped foreheads and all that, and the shiny foreheads too. Like, all of them glisten after these surgeries. Like, do they just like lather them down in Vaseline afterwards? I'm trying to figure out why they look like this. I don't understand why y'all go from looking like this to looking like this. Like, why do you do this to yourselves? You don't look better. Everybody says you look worse, and I get everybody has their personal insecurities, but there's a point in time that you just gotta accept it and just move forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, just accept it. Go on. Like, if people are telling you on a daily basis, you look good, you are a good looking individual, you know what you need to do? Accept that. Regardless of all the insecurities that you might have deep down, leave it alone. Because clearly you're only doing it for the people that are out there judging you. You're not really doing it for yourself sometimes. You want to do it for outer acceptance. And if you're doing it for outer acceptance, just accept what their opinions are already. Now, some people could just be overly nice, and sometimes, some people are just butt ugly, and that is just nothing you can really do about it. Some people do not hit the genetic lottery, and they just do not look good, and it's unfortunate, and I hate it for all those people. Now, I think I got lucky and I got some decent numbers out there, as you know, you can tell with the nice new hairline. Appreciate it, guy. And some people, especially black people, a lot of us, we look exactly like we did when we were kids. Some of us come out the womb looking about 35 years old, and we stay 35 years old until we're about 85 years old. And sometimes you have Asian people who seem to look extremely young, and I don't know, there's a lot of foreign people who look extremely young for like 40, 50, 60 years, and then all of a sudden they look like they're 135. That happens too. Now, most of the people that do these surgeries are, obviously, it seems to be white people. Now, other colors, it seems like they seem to be doing a lot of the booty surgeries, the titty surgeries, the lip surgeries, and all that stuff. And it turns out to be just an absolute jumbled mess of nonsense. And it's like, why? Why do you keep doing this? Please stop. But please, white people, stop doing this to yourselves. You're fine the way you are. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play a little montage, and we just need to do a nice homage to all the victims out there of bad plastic surgery. Now, personally, if I came out with results that looked as terrible and horrendous and horrifying like this, I'd rather have surgery that literally attached my balls to my chin. I would rather have something that just made me change colors. I'd rather end up like Michael Jackson than end up looking like these people. Like, this is an absolute disaster, and I don't know how you ever look in a mirror again. I would remove all the mirrors from my home. I would break them all. I would wish all the years of bad luck on myself, because quite frankly, your luck can't get any worse than you look already. It's really bad. I just, it would literally make me just turn up the bottle. I would just literally drink myself into oblivion every day. If those people turn out to be major alcoholics, I get it. I get it, because you can't reverse this. This isn't like a vasectomy. Snip, snap, snip, snap. You can't really go back and forth with this. You're done. You are stuck looking like this monstrosity. Like Frankenstein, stood a better chance because he was always looking like that. He always was ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like Abraham Lincoln, ugly man. Some people, you just accept it and just move forward. Embrace your ugliness. And the bad part about this is, once again, these people usually weren't ugly. They were fine, and they decided to try to look better, and they end up looking 1,000 times worse, and thus I would want to sue. But it's your fault. It's their fault. They should have never did the surgery. There was risk in it from the beginning, and you should have known that. That's why you don't go to these overseas countries and do these backwater surgeries or, get shark cells jammed into you trying to get your legs to work and stuff like that. That stuff is dangerous. Now, people are doing the same thing as far as breaking their legs and snapping them things in two and, getting a whole little, crank and trying to stretch their legs each and every day to make themselves taller, and they find out they still can't play basketball or anything like that. They're still not good at anything that they were bad at before. Getting taller doesn't mean you're going to get to the league. Most of these people have these dreams thinking like, oh man, if I was only taller, I could make it to the league. No, dude, you were never going to make it to the league. Even if you were 7 foot tall, you were never going to make it because you couldn't play at 5'8". You weren't good then. You weren't good at 6'3". You weren't going to make it to the league. I'm sorry. If you don't have hand-eye coordination, actual skill, size, muscles, any of that, give up on that dream, homie. Pass it over. Done. Now, what I do find funny is a whole bunch of the alpha men and all these guys with these manosphere and men podcasts and whatnot that go out there bashing OnlyFans models and all these bimbos that are out there on the internet. They even have insecurities too. Just look at Myron here. Myron's got this bald spot in the back of his head that he's been trying to hide from everybody for a long time, which on podcasts, thank God you can do the blocking yourself and make sure you don't show your low lights and stuff like that. And so thus he's got this fake hair here on this photo, which looks absolutely ridiculous. And every time you watch a podcast with these dudes, he's constantly brushing it. Like, dude, will you stop? Like, is it some type of chia pet on your head that makes you feel like it's just itching 24/7? Is that why you're constantly using the brush and them fake waves that you got in your head because you couldn't grow them before because you're half Arab or whatever you got going on? Which, I mean, they can get waves too. They actually got really great hair. But it's one of those things, man, like, stop having all these insecurities. That's what bothers me about those guys. They want to bash people and then they have these types of insecurities themselves. Like if they had a surgery that can make their dongs longer, oh, they would sign up for it immediately. Like if you could cut off half of their ribs or something like that and attach it to their ding dong and make that thing about another 3 inches longer, oh, sign them up. They'd be all in for it. Which quite frankly, I guess quite a few people would be in for that. I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad surgery, except I'm pretty sure it's going to have some terrible repercussions. Like you're going to be probably like infinitely hung or couldn't really walk around in basketball shorts or anything like that anymore without getting some type of charge. I just, weird stuff. Sorry, I don't want to stray too far away from the topic here today. Now, guys who are walking around looking as stupid as this guy is right here in this photo, this is why foreigners hate Americans or hate America sometimes in general, because we're walking around bitching like, oh, we got these problems right here. Like this is the absolute end of the world because my lips are a little bit too small or my eyes are a little too slanted or I don't have enough like overcast over my eyes. Like stupid stuff, like stuff that doesn't make any sense or matters to the world whatsoever. When other people are literally scared to walk out in the morning and stepping on a landmine, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. That would be bothersome to me, where people are literally walking outside of their door and watching people just die of hunger. Those are problems. Yeah, that happens here too, but I'm talking like the front porch, like, oh my God, where'd you come from? He's dead. Like, it's sad stuff. I mean, that is a reality for some people. Not in every foreign country, like, do they not have working water? But some people just don't have access to the working water. And they just die of dehydration and horrible things like that. But yet, we find a way to act like our problems are the biggest in the world. And the only thing they is like, my ass is a little small, or it's a little flat, a little pancake-ish. But yet, you're going to risk your life to do something like that when other people are literally having to risk their lives each and every day just to go to the grocery store. I mean, that is wild to me. And that's why some people, they have problems with us. No, I'm not going to say like be worried like some people are. Like, you need to be worried that we're going to get bombed each and every day. No, calm down, man. Like, I think some things will work itself out. Don't live in fear, but also don't live with this type of paranoia about your physical appearance. Go talk to somebody. Go see a psych. See a doctor. See somebody that can help you out when it comes to this stuff. Because, quite frankly, if you're struggling this much, emotionally to accept your physical appearance, there's going to be some other things going on psychologically that's going to lead you down a rabbit hole of tying the rope, grabbing the gun, or taking the pills and alcohol. Don't do that. That's not stuff. Good pills and alcohol, that's not a good song. Even though that's not the real song, but that's the song that some people are singing in their heads when they're thinking, this is the end of the world. Like, no, it's not the end of the world. The end of the world is literally the end of the world. 2012, the movie, that was the end of the world. Even though it didn't quite end, it was just a disaster. But, also, side segment, why do people keep predicting the end of the world or end of times? Like, the end of days is coming. And it's like, dude, I've heard that at least 12 times since I've gotten to this point in my life. And I'm still waiting for the end times. The end times, they keep saying are coming. That those aliens that were supposedly in Miami, I thought it was legit. I really did. Those weren't real. It was just apparently some cops if you zoom in on it. But still, supposedly a sign of the end times. No, it's not. Still waiting for the end times to be coming. I think we're going to be here for a minute. Now, it might not be as pretty of a world as we'd like it to be soon, but you know, he'll still be here. I don't think we're going to get hit with that big comet quite yet. I don't think we're going to get wiped out like the dinosaurs or the people that built Stonehenge or any of that. But we'll see. If we start that world with war with the aliens, then yeah, we could end up in that situation. But I've already taken enough of your time today. Thank you for watching this. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As once again, we're trying to get to 10K. Please help me get to 10K. Let's help this channel take off. If you like it, share it. If, well, you know, yeah, just do that. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please click on the video here on the screen where I discuss TikTok's craziest and cringiest couple, where a 26-year-old black man is smashing a 70-year-old white woman. And yes, that is happening.